Well, hello, Robert Heffernan with EndoTech, and this is our weekly Blockchain Vitals, our weekly edition. And what a change a week makes! How about it? Some market-driven price discovery via news, like that's something different in this world. A tweet, a headline, a news story that moves the market 10, 15, 20, 30%. Who's ever heard of that? Oh, that seems to be the new norm, or the new normal in most markets, most tradable markets. Anyway, let's do the rounds and talk about this in particular. Doing the rounds, my chance to gather what I've seen over the past week and talk about it. And obviously, in crypto, in the crypto sphere, Xi's press conference or statement talking about China needing to embrace blockchain technology was the impetus for this major rally. And as soon as that news came out and the market started just exploding off of it, I got to be honest with you, and I am still to this moment a little bit. I don't believe it with all of my heart and soul that China and Xi and the Communist Party would fully embrace what is trying to be built in crypto and in the blockchain by the vast majority of people, which is an open, a decentralized, immutable system that it dissuades bad behavior. It dissuades too much control in too few hands. The whole idea of the blockchain in a decentralized, open format is to keep stands for, which is a centralized, authoritarian, not open, not immutable system. They want to build blockchain on a private blockchain where the Communist Party is the authenticator of every transaction or everything that blockchain is trying to do. Now, maybe at some level, Xi understands that the problem with any system is corruption. And maybe if there's a way to weed out the corruption in the Communist Party, which is like any other system, it's there, right? It's there in our system. It's there in the capitalist system, corruption. It's there in the communist system. So maybe that's his angle. But for me, thinking that the Communist Party and China would adopt Bitcoin, for instance, over the yuan, come on. I don't know what you're thinking about. It seems to me that you'd have a better chance for me to believe, and actually what I've thought about when I saw this, was hold on, I'm going to get to it. Was not Xi, it was the Wizard of Oz. And pay no attention to the man behind the curtain that is trying to tell you that we're going to develop in China an open, immutable, decentralized blockchain community where the Communist Party does not have control. I don't believe it. I don't see how you work for 70 years to control everything, including facial recognition that pins you with your social accountability score or something like that. I mean, what's going on there is very Orwellian as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, let's talk about price discovery because that's, at the end of the day, the only thing that matters. Excuse me. Taking the vitals, my chance to talk about, especially on this weekly segment, the weekly fractal and the weekly levels. First of all, you will see on the daily here, Bitcoin right now trading at Bitfinex at 9,430 and 70 cents. Now, just jumping around there around 9,430. So well above UPMO on the daily, which is at 88.53. For me, though, the key here is the weekly. All right, so the weekly UPMO was I take that back. The weekly lower momentum and what we talked about last week, 9,222, and this week shifting up to 9,000. Take that back. The weekly average now, and I want to make sure, I want to check my work here and make sure that it's right. The weekly average coming in at 9,605. So last week we exploded, obviously, out of lower momentum, took out the weekly average, actually attempted the up mo level, which was 10,922 or 992. But we've fallen away from it, and we not only have we fallen away from a test of that up momentum on the weekly, we've fallen back below the weekly average at 9,605. And for me, that is not a continuing sign of strength in this market. So I fully expect us to go test out that up momentum level on the daily, 8,853. And through there, the weekly up momentum level, 8,572, is another test point if this thing starts to fall away and retrace last week's action that was all driven off of this statement. Now, believe me, last week, I was thinking that we're going to have much lower price discovery as we had taken out the lows of the previous 4 weeks. It looked to me like we were going to continue this downtrend, at least test that weekly lower momentum collar level, which was in the $6,500 area. Actually, even lower than that, $6,259 last week. So it seemed to me that there was not a great story here to be told. Now you get this statement out of China, and again, I don't see how it long-term relates to the mass majority of crypto. The Chinese are not going to build immutable, open, decentralized blockchain technology. They're just not going to do it. So where does that leave Bitcoin in the larger picture? Well, now you got to see how the price discovery unfolds. And for me, they weren't able to hold the weekly average. They weren't able to make another test at last week's high here in the first trading day of the week. It looks to me more like they're going to want to retrace and test that up momentum level on the daily. If they can hold that, maybe we can build a story about the long. And then a test of 85.72, that weekly low momentum, that seems more likely to me. And for me, also that I've noticed is although Bitcoin did on this initial rally trade favorably in the crosses, some of these other coins are actually holding up better as we've gone forward after the news. And so let's cover some of those. Ether right now trading 84.04. It also not able to hold its weekly average at 86.87. Weekly down momentum 173.89. So fairly similar setup here for Ether. Maybe a test of that daily upmo level at 181.92. But I think these things are going to go check out these weekly lower momentum levels and see if the rubber meets the road there, if they can hold those type of levels, those longer term levels, which are so important going forward. Now, the other one that's interesting to me, very interesting, is XRP, because it, unlike these other two, it's up momentum level, 0.2934. It's trading 30.03. So fully in up momentum now on the weekly. 30.03 last up momentum on the weekly, 29.34. Room out to 33 even in XRP. And, for me, I don't really care about the fundamentals. I 1,000 feet. But for me, the price action and the price discovery and coins actually holding momentum levels, it's much more important to me. How is this thing actually trading is way more important. Litecoin, last but not least, trading a 58.82 last. Its low momentum level on the weekly, 56.05. So for me, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin look like they want to go check out those levels. And XRP is by far the best looking coin. And be a hater if you want and tell me that XRP isn't exactly what Bitcoin is. That's fine. Maybe it isn't as open and as decentralized and as immutable as Bitcoin is. But from a price discovery standpoint, it is faring much better than the rest of the board. All right, that's what I'm seeing. So take it or leave it, but believe me, I've seen more guys carried off of the trading floor when they stuck to a fundamental viewpoint when the technicals were pointing in the other direction. All right, please mind the mo. That's what I got. Thank you so much for watching. Be disciplined, trade disciplined, mind the mo, and I will see you soon on another edition of Blockchain Vitals. Thank you so much for watching.